This is Patch News, where you get news from Patch. Today we're going to be intellectually breaking down and combining literature with current real-world events. The mayor of Coronado has declared to have solved the problem of homelessness. In a move that would have made Jay Gatsby swap his champagne for a cup of municipal coffee, the mayor of Coronado, with a flourish of civic duty and a twinkle in his eye, declared the homelessness issue solved. He unveiled a plan so simple it was almost novel. The streets were soon filled with the Gatsby-esque socialites quoting Fitzgerald while searching for their own green lights across the bay. And just like that, the mayor turned the page on homelessness, leaving the town and the world as spotless and surreal as Gatsby's manicured lawns, with not a speck of reality in sight. In related news, a poor-performing satirical newscaster has improperly called homeless people homeless instead of houseless. A man named Candide and his companion Pangloss, visiting New York this weekend, stumbled upon a golden tower emblazoned with the name Trump in gleaming lights. As they entered the gilded lobby, adorned with ostentatious displays of wealth and power, Candide gaped in astonishment, unable to fathom the excess and opulence before him, and questioned the morality of such extravagance in a world plagued by poverty and inequality. Meanwhile, Pangloss, ever the optimist, saw the spectacle as a triumph of capitalism and the inevitable outcome of progress. Finally, arriving at the penthouse, they encountered the man himself, Donald Trump. Holding court in the penthouse suite, looking to the Donald for insight whether the skeptical Candide or optimistic Pangloss was correct, Trump insightfully responded, stating, "Covfefe." In medical school news, medical student Sigmund Freud has been on a weeks-long search for the elusive eel nuts. Meanwhile, in entertainment news, Nick Cannon has apparently found his and reportedly taken out a policy on his own nuts that rival the GDP of a small island nation. In news related to Immanuel Kant, the hilarious comedy troupe Monty Python wisely stated that Immanuel Kant is a real pissant who is very rarely stable. The sports world is astonished that college basketball phenom Caitlin Clark got snubbed from the United States Olympic team roster. Caitlin Clark, the basketball prodigy, and Esther Greenwood from the Bell Jar seem like an unlikely duo, but their stories intertwine in a satirical twist. While Caitlin battles opponents on the court, Esther fights her own battles under the metaphorical bell jar of societal expectations. Caitlin's three-pointers are like Esther's attempts to break free from the constraints of 1950s norms, both aiming for liberation, albeit in vastly different arenas. Imagine Caitlin dribbling past defenders while Esther navigates through a maze of double standards, gender roles, and weird-ass dudes. It's a comical clash of worlds, one filled with slam dunks and buzzer beaters, the other with existential crises and societal pressures. Who knew that a basketball game and a bell jar could have so much in common? In entertainment and misbehaving rich dudes news, more details are emerging about P. Diddy's notorious parties. The lavish soirees reflect those depicted in F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, share a common thread of opulence and excess. Both are known for their star-studded guest lists, extravagant setups, and over-the-top entertainment. They epitomize the high life, where the rich and famous gather to revel in luxury, much like Jay Gatsby's legendary parties that were the pinnacle of the Roaring Twenties social scene. However, in addition to the romanticized interpretation of the grand balls as reflected by Gatsby, there are also absurdities that are more reminiscent of the satire, decadence, and superficiality of the aristocracy from Voltaire's Candide. Regardless, it looks like the end of the P. Diddy story is likely to end tragically, just like that of Gatsby. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. And now, for Huang final summary news. In a world where Coronado mayors think they solve homelessness, former President Trump is having a cordial routine meeting with probation officials, a women basketball player that is creating a new world for women's sports are literally getting physically slammed as well as snubbed, and truths about P. Diddy parties are making celebrities scared. It's hard not to feel like we're living in a chapter of Yuval Noah Harari's Sapiens. Imagine Harari narrating our current events. And in the early 21st century, Homo sapiens, in their quest for ever more bizarre headlines, managed to elect reality TV stars as leaders and turn political trials into media circuses. Meanwhile, they still couldn't figure out how to live peacefully with their neighbors. Despite thousands of years of civilization, it seems that the cognitive revolution, agriculture, and the scientific breakthroughs were all just a prelude to the age of viral tweets and TikTok diplomacy. It's enough to make you wonder if we're not so much wise humans as we are wily humans, trying to navigate a world that's part satire, part reality show, and entirely unpredictable. Alright, that's all we got for you. And remember, as the king once said, ain't no party like a Diddy party.